Well, hello everyone, and good afternoon, kind of evening time now anyway. But I want to make this video to address the massive move of September. This move on SPI was just a little too crazy today. It looks like everybody, since the market has been kind of floppy in the last couple of days, not a lot of follow through, and everybody was hungry for the next big thing. Nowadays, and over the last couple of days, the electrical cars and trucks and Nikola and Tesla topics have been kind of trending, especially today after also announcing that California will ban gas-powered cars 2035. Yeah, you might say that, yeah, it's a long time down the road, but all of this kind of stuff comes into play. And SPI had some news today about some subsidiaries of electrical trucks and all that kind of stuff. And this thing started to skyrocket today and every market hours. And so when I saw it, it was something looking a little bit like this. I can't really remember the exact point, but I will show you a picture of how it was looking in the pre-market hours when I posted the first picture on the trading group. And then this thing just started to reject the high level right here, 403 that I put there, but it was just afterwards, right? This thing started to ride on top of the view app, right, and hit that level there. It was $4 right there. We got a 403 level there. I think it was on this candle here, 407. Which one was it? 403. Trying to find the 403 where we have it. I think there was 403 higher day right there on the pre-market hours, as you notice right here. Starts to reject the level, and I actually, to be honest with you, I missed a lot of this powered move that this name had today. I didn't really pay much attention. I was a little bit kind of sloppy when I noticed that it started to fail, but my bad was because it reclaimed the view app, right? And it started to go sideways and started to rack up. And I kept on talking about it for over some time in a trading group, but I failed to take a couple of these entries that he had at the beginning of the day. Especially on top of the decent bull flag pattern that we have right here in the 1 minute. You can notice right here, 588. It's a pretty decent bull flag pattern, and I was thinking about it, but I was a little bit hesitant, and I unfortunately let it go. And after that, this thing just started to open up, and there was some time that it took to consolidate around all of these candles here. Let's take a look at here how long it took for it to start breaking, and we have about 1.2 hours, right? So we have 14 5-minute bars or 14 5-minute candles. It took about 1 hour, 1.2 hours, right? So it took over an hour to develop this little consolidation here. At some point this thing started to rack up the way that it did. This thing went to a high of, God, as of right now at the closing, it says 1,516%, which is actually not true with the higher day. That's what I'm trying to say, because when it was trending at around $14 and change, something around there. I think it was like 3,800% to the upside, and it was just crazy. So here's the thing, I missed this push up here. It's a pretty bad I had a meeting, a one-on-one meeting at school with my son. I was out, took a little break, and I had a couple of trades. I traded SPWR today. The overall trend was bearish, and I wanted to go in for the fade, and I slapped it. And also took a trade in the afternoon on MUR towards the close, because I was riding the wave when it was actually hitting a daily level at $8.80, looking for a fade into the 850 level. But again, I missed this ramp up here, but I was able to extract something out of it. Guys, real quick here before I forget. So I send a lot of watch lists and stuff every single week, and this is free stuff. But if you want to receive it, just go over to tradescolony.com and create a free account, and I'll be able to send that watch list every single weekend over to your email address. Again, I'm not asking you to sign up. I'm just saying, if you do want to receive a couple of different ideas and things that we're watching, you can go ahead and create an email, create an account, and we'll be able to send those ideas to your email address. So I started to see this consolidation here on a 5-minute time frame when it's had this pennant formation on top of this butterfly pattern on the one. Very unfortunate. Again, I missed this thing, and that was when it started to ramp up. But here, this thing came up. I slapped it. I have to say though, I was a lot hesitant to send this order because at the same time it was a little risky trying to catch a move that was already moving and overextended in a very powerful way from here to that point already. After a drop, let's see, the percent was 620 percent from the open, right? And it was just a little bit crazy. I missed the clean entry on the butterfly pattern, and then I felt like, man, I don't want to chase it. But I noticed that we dipped and we started to hold and started to base a little bit inside of this doji. And I noticed that right here at 733 we started to hold, and it was a lot of volume coming in, pushing higher. And I set an order to get filled. It was able to break on top of the 733, and to be honest with you, I was fighting with myself trying to find I don't even know what to say here. I was fighting with myself trying to find a reason to get in, because if it worked in the way that it was pushing, it was going to be great. But if it didn't work, it was probably going to push me on the really bad direction though, and I was going to take a big slap that I didn't want to take today. For example, if you look at right here on the resuming of this thing, 785 to 650, if you look at right there, the flushes were really big. And even in this 1 minute candle, 725 to 925 to 790, we're talking about a big flush here. We're going to take the high to the low of this candle, so I can take you better numbers right here. $1.30, right? 13%, $1.30. And even if you're taking up 300 to 400 shares, you're down in a minute $500, right? So I was trying to find a reason to take this trade, and for me it was a little bit tricky. I slapped it, and then I just run out because I was behaving in a kind of cowardly manner today, or I should say trying to be a little bit conservative. Now started to pull back here. I started to watch a consolidation in something that I recognize very well on the 1 minute time frame, and here started to reclaim the spot on top of the 50, right? And if you notice right here, this is the spot where it reclaimed, right? pushed up, and after that it started to come up. Now I came back when it was already breaking, and I posted something in the trading group about, oh man, I left, and then when I come back I find it at 13, right? But then I pull back right here, look, 13, 15. So pull back, and then it starts to consolidate. This 1 minute consolidation is some pattern that I recognize from far away, but again, it was extremely tricky, and I was a little hesitant. There was one thing that I liked about it. It was the 1 minute time frame candle having a high, a little lower, 2 cents lower than the $0.50 in 11.48 right here at the break of this thing. Look at right here, 11.48, right? So I started to look at it, and I said, listen, I think if we could go over the 11.50, we can push to the higher day here, which at that point was 13.15. But I was, again, a little bit hesitant thinking about it. I slapped it with, small shares because I didn't want to go full size on this thing, and he was able to give me a decent push. Now, to be honest with you, when he started to rack up to the high of this candle, 12.60, I just took what I had and I get out, and then I was like, holy smokes, this thing just started to open up a little bit more, and he started to keep pushing higher. Again, the move was just amazing and crazy at the same time, because from the low here, we opened up at 109 today, and we had 4,141.30% higher. All right, so over 4,000% higher. This is the craziest move in September. All over the last couple of weeks, we haven't seen something like this develop. Now, we had a different set of consolidation here the second time around, and I started to look at how it started to having this consolidation and to set up with this smaller candles, right? So one thing you have to know, though, when it comes to dojis, if you look at the dojis, a couple of dojis here, 1, 2, and then flush. What the doji candles will do, if you have 2 or more, what it will give you is a abrupt move towards the overall trend, right? From the main trend will follow through, and it will give you an abrupt move when it actually starts to open up after giving you a couple of dojis, right? So one thing that I noticed here, again, it was at $14.38, if I'm not mistaken. There you go, $14.38, and again, it was a little under $14.50, the $0.50. Again, same thing that happened here. And I said, well, you know what? I think this consolidation might end up opening up, and if you look at the lows of 1403 here, we got another 14 here, and right here, all of these candles are actually holding around the $14 area. So I'm thinking, if we can hold and break above the 1450, then we can open up. And it opened up and broke the 1438 and went over the 1450. It pushed so high that it went to 1620 in a matter of like 15 seconds. And look at this thing. It just kept on pushing. Now, I'm not gonna say that I took the whole thing, because to be honest with you, on the first candle here, when it pushed, it gave me a $1.50 move, pretty much also almost a $1.50 move, and it was just amazing. From the 1450, we moved to 1620. All right, so I was just time to go. And again, because I was trying to be a little bit conservative, because I thought that this thing was a little bit overextended already, and that we were going to just come down really hard. Now, from that to the hide this candle. When I slapped it second time though, look at this thing here. It was what, 1,343%. It was like, I didn't want to get caught in a circuit breaker hold coming down. Broke again, started to open up, kept on running higher, and then here I saw it again. But to be honest with you, I was a little hesitant to send an order on top of the place where it got halted. The thing is, like, there's a couple of ways to trade a hold, and me personally, I wait to see what it resumes, and then I try to see what it starts to bounce, and if we're on top of the $0.5 or the whole dollar, and if it can come right back up on top of the prior level or the level right there it got halted. If we can actually push on top of that, I will take a small size, because again, I will be a little bit conservative. Now, at the same time, looking at all this thing and pushing the way that it was pushing today, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people looking at this topping candles here and having those reversals, nobody would have thought, and especially like this hanging man formation right here in the 5-minute time frame, nobody would have thought that this thing was going to keep going in the way that it actually did today, right? So looking at this thing here, I'm pretty sure that people will think that we're going to have a reversal and start slapping this thing in a short side, only to get squeezed and having to cover, because this thing just kept on rolling up. And by the time that started to get halted and come on the way down, it was already on $40-something. It got halted for around 30 minutes, and then it resumed down here. So let's just take a look at about how long it got for it to resume again. It took 30 minutes. So it took 30 minutes on a halt here, and when it resumed $6.55 lower from the point that it actually resumed. Like from the high here, if you were trapped on the way down, when it resumed, it was like almost $20 right here, $19.69. So pretty bad for some people that got trapped and that were trying to get greedy on this thing. But again, base hits and taking decent size moves, it's actually a pretty decent thing. But here's the thing: 500 share position, getting a $2 move on something like this, you're already on top of $1,000. I was able to extract a pretty decent amount of money today in the market, and it was actually a good day, and I'm grateful for it. So I just wanted to give you an update on the crazy move of September and this 4,000% mover today. And for now, I hope you guys enjoy this day today, and that it was a pretty decent thing for you. Stay green, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.